me, Bronson or Jed. I do some videos for Scat. Your third audit.
Yeah, we are. Yep.
Oh, we recording this. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So you're in your third audit, and how's that going?
Good. Yeah, we're halfway through. We did a pre-audit leading up to this audit. So the pre-audit is technically part of that third audit. So say 2.5 full audits, but still, it's a lot more than I think some of our other ecosystem colleagues. I mean, just to see one in some cases is good. So we're in technically our third. No major vulnerabilities. Audit. I have a different mindset on audits. I want there to be stuff out. It tells me that it's software. Software development. There's going to be things, whether it's a critical vulnerability or something less severe. I want it uncovered to make sure that we're not pushing buggy code to our users. So far, we're halfway through that. Nothing critical that would derail us from a launch perspective or have to redesign what we're doing from a overall design perspective. So we're good there.
Cool. And you guys are going live real soon?
In November. Yep.
Great.
November is the target right now. Again, assuming the next 3 weeks of our audit, and that's the conclusion timeframe of it. If there is nothing critical that's found, we should stay on target.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Have you ever heard of Cerberus? It's a Xerberus. It's what they do is they look at the wallet addresses and they watch them just to see how the treasury is.
Sure.
Are they utilizing their tokenomics the way they're supposed to?
Tracking whale wallets and such.
Yeah,
right?
is that something that you'd be willing to participate?
I think we'd absolutely be interested in that. I think our users need to see where the majority of India is, where it's going, and be able to track that, right? So that kind of transparency is core to the Indigo ethos. We've been truthful, transparent since day one. Something like that, we're not resistant to.
Great. And another question for you is, how did you get here? How did you get into your spot?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Actually, it started in Denver for me. So
really?
This is home away from home. I started my tech career in 2008 in Denver, Colorado. I've been an enterprise tech consultant for 15 years, steering business towards cloud contact center solutions, large cloud data infrastructure solutions. And relatively young, so blockchain, Web3 was always of interest to me, and I kind of, where can I be bleeding edge in tech? Found myself in blockchain. I've been in crypto since 2017, so as an entrepreneur, it was a good move. It was a pretty obvious jump for me. And the Indigo experience is what allowed me to kind of realize that we need a consortium, a collaborative group of DeFi developers on Cardano. So that's why last year I put together the DeFi Alliance, and I'm co-chair and founder of the DeFi Alliance. We're a young organization still, but we're doing a lot, and I think we're going to hopefully, be a leader with regards to how DeFi is created and developed on Cardano.
Of course they will.
Yeah. So because I was in tech, and I was 23 years old when I learned about Bitcoin, and I was really all into silver.
You're way younger than me then.
I'm 37.
40.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too far behind.
Yeah.
We're kind of the old dogs in crypto. So,
yeah.
For me, I wish I got in sooner, but I think it was the right time. Everything happens for a reason. Right? So I'm where I need to be. So,
how'd you find how'd you come up with your team?
That has been a blessing. So, I'll say God provides, right? So that's what I believe. And we've been just attracting people. So I've been very, cognizant of talent. I have an eye for that. So as people in our community discussing things with us, bringing ideas, offline conversations like, okay, what's your background, kind of vetting them, kind of figuring out where they come from, what kind of experience they could bring to Indigo. And we've organically built a team. We're 12 people now, not including our developers. So all of our devs are NLabs devs. We're NLabs shop, sorry. But we have 12 core team members. That includes tech team, marketing, quants, executive, product. Like Robert's our chief product officer. He's a brainiac behind a lot of stuff that we're doing from an innovation standpoint. So kind of all just came together organically, man. We didn't have any recruiting necessarily,
They're all really cool, friendly. The ones I've met, I was pretty impressed with Dan being so young.
He is. He's 19.
Yeah,
He's 19 years old.
it's crazy.
He's brilliant though because he's young and he's driven, and I love that about him. So the way I assembled my team, one of the things that was very important to me was entrepreneurial spirit. Everybody on my team has some sense of entrepreneurial background in some way, including Dan. His first business he launched when he was 15.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I think it's really important because the way I want to run my guys is let them have autonomy over their own ops. Ultimately, it funnels up through me. Decisions are made by me at the end of the day, but that's if it's a high level thing that needs to be made. Otherwise, I give these guys full reign to do what they do. It's their world. I don't want to babysit them and micromanage them.
You're obviously a good manager.
Well, I try to be. And it's important to let these guys, if they're allowed to embrace that entrepreneurial spirit, then they're going to have more passion in what they're doing. They're not being managed. They're part of a collaborative team approach of how we built Indigo and how we go about decision making. But ultimately, they're their own bosses. They're their own business owners in a sense. They don't own Indigo. It's not who it is, but it's that mindset. It's the way we've been able to be so productive, right? Because I don't have to micromanage them. They're doing their own thing. Again, when we have big, high-level decisions to make, we put everybody together from the top down and say, team, how are we going to do this? What should we do? We analyze it. We say, okay, this is the best way to go. Sometimes we have different opinions, but that's healthy. It's natural, right? But ultimately, I think we got a special thing going on here. So,
I think you do too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for it. Thank you.
You got it, buddy.
Thank
All right,
you.
best of luck, man.
Yep.